करारविन्देन पदारविन्दं मुकारविन्दे विनिवेशयन्तं वटस्य पत्रस्य पूटे शयानम्.
Jai Gurudev, everyone. Let's start with our prayer.
Vasudeva sutan devam कंसचारूर्णमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं.
So we covered the Vishad Yoga and we saw so many emotions of Arjuna coming in the Vishad Yoga. It starts with like he is very powerful, he has the full ability to fight, and then he requests Krishna that Krishna, can you take me in between this, in between both the armies. Why? Because I want to see who are the people who are siding with Duryodhana. I want to know, because Duryodhana's army is huge. And the Pandavas' army is smaller, much smaller than Duryodhana's army. But here there is a warrior whose chariot is driven by Lord Krishna himself. And Krishna takes him in the middle, and we also saw that he places the chariot amidst 2.5 million people. He places the chariot right in front of, Dronacharya and Bhishma. And then the moment he sees both of them, something goes inside him, something happens to him. And then he says that, do you think that we need to fight them? Even after fighting them, if I am going to get this land, what use is that land? Because seeing this army, I understand that so many people will die. So what will that land be? Then he says, though they are greedy, if we are going to kill them, aren't we also greedy who are going to kill them? That is the second logic he applies. Then he says that, Krishna, are you really feeling that we should kill them? What will happen if I kill, these great warriors? And if I kill Bhishma, if I kill so many of my siblings, all of Putra, Pautra, all sons, grandsons, all in this army, where will I be? Do you think even ever, I will not even get an entry in hell? So he has given his logic, he has given all that. Krishna has not said anything, nothing in the whole entire 43 shlokas that we covered, 47 shlokas that we covered in chapter 1. And now he says that, there is something happening inside me. My spine, I am feeling low. He has surrendered himself. He's sitting down on the chariot, his hands are shaking, his mouth is parched, his body is shivering, and such a great warrior is going through such a big delusion in life. And how do we see it in our life? That Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar ji says, every moment there is Bhagavad Gita happening inside our lives. There is the right and there is the wrong, and in between them you are there. You are in between the right and the wrong, and you select which one you want to be in. And then when you select the something, then you come to know whether are you following the dharma or not following the dharma. So we also discussed that the first letter is Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetra, and the last letter of Bhagavad Gita is going to be Mang. That is Dharma. The whole 700 shlokas defines in this tradition that what is your dharma towards this life, towards society, and towards your inner being. What is your dharma? And as a sankalpa, all of us decided that this is something which we want to find, and this is something which we want to travel. We also saw how Gurudev saw this whole chapter 1. Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar ji says that this delusion has come into him, and this is there in every person it comes into. So the whole Bhagavad Gita starts with a Vishad Yoga, starts with sorrow. So Gurudev also says this, that so if you are sorrowful, then the Gita is your companion. And if the Gita is your companion during that time, you cannot be sorrowful. Gurudev, I remember once saying that problem और गुरु एक साथ पॉकेट में नहीं रह सकते हैं. या परेशानी रहेगी या गुरु रहेंगे, एक साथ दोनों नहीं रह सकते हैं. So with that and with our prayer and with Gurudev's, Kamal feet, we are going to start the chapter 2. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Atha Dvitiyodhyayaha. So it starts by first. Who is going to speak first? First chapter, we have seen Arjuna say that, Bhai, bahut ho gaya, I can't do this. And Sanjay is saying that after that he left his arms. The last shloka of the first chapter was like that. Now here Sanjay continues. Sanjay uvacha tan tatha kripaya vishtam. So it is very interesting, this thing is that he says that this person, Arjuna, who is fully with Kripaya, is fully in pity, fully in sadness, fully in sadness. Matlab itna zyada ki it has pierced him, it has gone inside him. That is Avishtam. Avishtam and Kripaya. Kripaya Avishtam is what? It has gone inside him, and Ashrupurna Kulekshanam, and his eyes. Ashrupurna Kuleksharam, we can say that Ashrubhi, and Purna is fully, his eyes are fully wet, like full, completely sorrowful person and complete weakness. His eye is so wet that he can't even see properly. He is not able to see. He is restless. Both his eyes are in tears and tears and tears. That is the second charan, and the third charan goes, Vishidantamidam Vakyam. Now this is very interesting. So he says that to this person, to this particular person, the Vakyam, the Idam Vakyam. So it says that इनको, Idam is इनको, किसने बोलना शुरू किया, किसने क्या बोला इनको, उवाच मधुसूदना. And here said Lord Krishna to this person whose eyes are completely wet, who has fully gone down in sadness, और उनकी आंखें एकदम ये है, इन्होंने बोलना शुरू किया. मधुसूदन, जिन्होंने मधु का वध किया था, वो मधुसूदन ने इनको ये वाक्य कहा. Like this is the introduction to Lord Shri Krishna. So you can all join your hands and say hello Lord Krishna. He comes in this second chapter in the second shloka. So I'll just say the first shloka again. Sanjaya vacha tan tatha kripaya vishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam vishidantamidam vakyam uvacha madhusudanaha. To this person, Arjun, whose eyes are completely wet and who is in so much sadness, Lord Krishna says, Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Kutastva Kashmalamidam. Now here he is saying that Kutasva, from where Kashmalamidam is from this. ये मैल तेरे में जो आई है, कहाँ से ये मैल? विषमे समुपस्थितम, मतलब विषमे इज लाइक ये विषम योग में, मतलब विषम समय पर, ये वेरी रॉन्ग टाइम, और यू कैन ऑल्सो कॉल इट लाइक स्ट्रेंज टाइम. ये स्ट्रेंज टाइम में समुपस्थितम, ये कैसे हुआ है तेरे में, ये मैल कहाँ से आई है? बेसिकली ही सेज नॉट कैसे, ये कहाँ से आई है. और यू कैन ऑल्सो से दैट ये जो तेरे कश्मलमिदम कैन ऑल्सो बी डिफाइंड एज जो अटैचमेंट, मोह और मोह रूपी जो मैल तेरे में आई है. इट कैन ऑल्सो बी सेड लाइक दैट. अनार्य जुष्टम स्वर्ग्यम. अनार्य कैन बी डिफाइंड एज आर्य इज द फाइटर्स, द क्षत्रिय. अनार्य इज लाइक हाउ आर यू इस वक्त में, ये नॉन क्षत्रिय, यू कैन से नॉन क्षत्रिय, ये तुम में कैसे आई है. और अर्जुन, अगर ये ऐसा है तो तुम्हें स्वर्ग भी प्राप्त नहीं होगा. अस्वर्ग्यम, ये दिस इज completely unheavenly. So you can see it this way also, that all these great warriors, all these great people had one ek tattva abhyasa, that I want to go to स्वर्ग और I want to find तत्वमसि, मैं कौन हूँ, मुझे ये फाइंड आउट करना है. एंड देन ही सेज अकीर्ति करम अर्जुना, अकीर्ति करम अर्जुना, मतलब अर्जुन जो तूने कीर्ति प्राप्त की है वो सारी चली जाएगी इस वक्त, वो सारी कीर्ति इस वक्त अकीर्ति हो जाएगा, मतलब विल ऑल गो अवे. सो द श्लोक श्री भगवान उवाच, ही सेज श्री भगवान उवाच कुतस्त्वा कश्मलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरम् अर्जुन. ये मैल तेरे में कहाँ से आ गई अर्जुन, इतना कन्फ्यूजन तेरे में इस वक्त कहाँ से एंटर किया तेरे में. हाउ डिड दिस सो मच कन्फ्यूजन एंड this delusion has entered you at this particular विषम, at this विषम योग, मतलब ये इस गलत समय पे कहाँ से आया. He says like this. Then he says, Lord Krishna continues and says, Klaibyam partha. Now here, lot of people will also put this shloka in a very, so Klaibyam is actually also said like terrible weakness. It is also called napunsakta. So here in this he says that इस वक्त पे ये जो तेरे में नपुंसकता आई है. So actually it is not a direct, it's a connotation. It is like ये weakness तेरे में इतना weak, again gives him that Klaibyam asmagam partha. So he gives him the title of Partha because he wants to remind him that you are that great Kunti's putra. So he says, Partha naitatvayas yupadhyate, and he says that do not give in to this weakness. So do not give in to this weakness right now. Shudram hridaya dorbalyan त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप. Now, परंतप, is परंतप is somebody who जो आता है अगर ना तो पसीने पसीने छूट जाते हैं on the war field. तो सबके मतलब होश उड़ जाते हैं, सब लोग डर जाते हैं, सबके पसीने छूट जाते. That is parantapa. So he says that come on, stand up and get this. Just get this thing abandoned from your system. So he says, yield not to unmanliness, Arjuna. This is not you. Shaking of this base, faint-hearted, stand up, O scorcher of enemies. So this is like parantapa. Scorcher of enemies is basically जब कोई आता है तो वो पूरा ये हो जाता है. This is Klaibyam partha naitatva yupapadhyate shudram hridaya dorbalyan tyaktvotishta parantapa. Now if you notice this, there are times when you go down in life, and what happens at that time? Do you really tell those people who are down, do you mock at them? Do you say ki kya hua hai? Or do you raise their energy up? So with these two shlokas, he's actually telling him that why you have got trapped by the ego, which is prisoning the soul of yours. So ego is nothing but it prisons your true nature and your soul. So he's like pushing him up and saying that you are that Parantapa, you are that Partha, you are the great warrior of Pritha, the mother who has given you birth. How can you go down right now in this? And then he's also questioning the male. He's not questioning Arjun. He's just telling कि ये तेरे में मैल इस वक्त कहाँ से आ गई, कैसे आ गई ये मैल, he's questioning the layer of dust that is on your body. Like we say na कि अरे तू काला हो गया बाहर जाके. We never question the tan. We say तू काला हो गया. So we say तू काला हो गया. He's not saying that. He's saying ये जो तेरे ऊपर मैल आई है ये इस वक्त कैसे आ गई? Or he is questioning that. So his words are just to raise, the entire. So he's very amazed. Lord Krishna gives her like a grand entry to this 2 shlokas where he says that तेरे में ये मैल इस वक्त this odd time में तेरे लिए जब सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ होने जा रही है ये समुपस्थितम ये कहाँ से आई? And then he also says that ये इस वक्त नहीं आनी चाहिए. So now he knows that, he's quite bewildered कि after listening to 47 shlokas and he is ये पूरा ही लगता है पूरा ही, and he's seeing the state, he's crying, he's left his Gandhi, so he asks him these two, he presents his viewpoint in this way, and next is Arjuna is going to answer, but right now there is a clear distinction of Arjuna who is, whose quest of life was to gain Swarg and to gain Swarg in a very proper manner by killing everyone or fighting according to dharma. But right now, he says, I will not fight. And Krishna is kind of boosted his ego completely. And his ego is what is actually making him impotent right now. So Klaibyam is actually that word which makes you completely away from your true nature of your dharma.
Akilam maduram Shrivadsaangam manoraskam Vanamala virajidam Shankachakradharam devam Krishnam vande jagadgurum Krishnam vande jagadgurum.